Yeah, my dudes, what's up? We're back. You thought I wasn't gonna do it, man. A part of me was holding out. Because I'm like, damn, there's rumors right now. They're making a remake of Snake Eater. Oh man, I'm gonna wait to play that on my channel. But no, baby. We're gonna dig right in here. We're playing Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. We're playing this on the PS3. It was originally released on the PS2. So it's been modified slightly. The best version, by the way, of Snake Eater is the 3DS version. It is freaking tasty, baby. It's so good. You can play it with a little bit of that lenticular display 3D that it's got built in. It's super rad. Best version because you could crouch. It's the only version where you could crouch and walk through it. What is going on? It's taking forever to load. Sorry about this. Checking data. Here we go. I'm going to shut up during cutscenes, but we'll talk during some of the gameplay. By the way, this is many people's favorite, absolutely top tier favorite Metal Gear games. Oh, remade by Blue Point Games, by the way. They're rumored to be working on a remake of some Metal Gear game. What I'm hoping for is a full-on freaking give us the trilogy. There is speculation that they are redoing all of these games for current gen hardware, but we will see. Great intro. By the way, the same motion capture artist, or the same motion capture actor that did that intro sequence was the same actor that played Raiden. Okay, so when you're choosing this, all it does is, this is so weird. When you choose a new game, it's like it's asking you how you want the game camera to play. There's like in-game previews, like when you go into a locker and things like that. But I'm just going to pick I like Metal Gear Solid 3 because that's my favorite.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Yeah. What's great about it, this series, it's kind of loosely grounded in real world history, but only loosely grounded. And they try to kind of explain everything too, which is neat from the technology side. Oh, they also extended it so it's widescreen now, by the way. The original was obviously on the normal standard 640, 480. Fox Sound. That's the Fox Sound logo.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Damn. That's some quality PS2, man. I mean, updated, but look at the details.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask.
This threw everyone off. We all thought it was going to be
Pennywise know what he's
Snake.
doing?
We all thought it was going to be Snake. It turns out it's not
Approaching
Snake.
release point.
It is, but it's not.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
I kind of love that it's David Hayter, but I kind of think it should have been maybe somebody else. Because it's not Snake.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
So they tightened up all of the details, all the text on his helmet, a lot of the yes, it says there, Snake Eater.
Sunrise.
Look at the distortions on his clothing.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
To get that right,
You'll be falling flying at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first Halo jump.
High altitude, low opening.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
So the first preview stuff, it was like we saw what looked like Snake, one of the best looking snakes, by the way. And it was in the Cold War era. He's going through the jungle and shit. We're like, what the hell? What the fuck is this? How's that possible? Because Snake is not that old. But then you find out throughout the game, you're playing as Big Boss when he was known as Naked Snake before he became Big Boss.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous Mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the Virtuous Mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the West. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handed him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Very heavily grounded in real history. But then we cut back to Snake falling from the sky. It's a nice way to set things up. So this would be on his mind as he's about to begin the mission. In Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PlayStation 1, they did the briefing as sort of an option from the menu, which I actually maybe prefer that a little bit more, but maybe they found that people didn't watch it.
Your mission is to infiltrate Selino-Yarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west.
Can't see anything in first-person view.
If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
They use that a lot later.
Take it easy. It's been combat.
Peace Walker.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
And Phantom Pain.
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talon?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast,
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Oh, just that concept alone sold me on this. Lone soldier parachutes in, has to survive in the jungle. By the way, he had to do the halo jump because their skies are under surveillance. So dropping somebody in from above the clouds, above radar, that's a long drop. But then the low opening would imply that he's not going to show up on radar also. Oh, he lost his satchel. Conceptually, I could play this same exact story, same exact type of infiltration mission 100 times, 1,000 times. Just keep remaking Snake Eater formula stories. Lone soldier drops into a jungle, any kind of environment, has to survive, discovers bunkers, old military bases. Weapons and equipment are on-site procurement. Living off of the animals of the environment. Oh. It feels like it could be expanded upon in so many other ways, too. I mean, this game is perfect as it is. If they do a remake, I'm hoping they give it kind of like that Resident Evil 2 style treatment, where it's like the original can stand on its own, but we get a whole new, like a greater depth. If they do that, again, still rumored at this point. Nobody freaking knows.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake.
Naked Snake.
I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's
Tom.
see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom.
Except right there it says Major
This will
Zero.
be a sneaking mission.
Oh, he switches it.
You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha.
I've got
Getting
a good
back to
idea.
the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
All right. So this was actually around the time that I met Hideo Kojima, Mr. Kojima. Yeah, that's right. I met the dude. He wouldn't remember me. I met him at E3. I was working at Capcom at the time. A good friend of mine was, I think I've told this story before. A good friend of mine was, he knew him. He had been friends with him for a while. Kojima speaks very little English. If you've seen, he speaks it, but he's not. Oh, wait, what am I doing here? I'm trying to. There we go. Yeah. It's not something he practices a lot. For a while, he was trying to, and he did a few speeches. But he's a funny dude. He was anyway. It was before he was really, really famous. So I thumb wrestled with him, and the wager was that I had to give him a piggyback ride. No shit. So yeah, I gave Hideo Kojima a piggyback ride. Because he cheated, by the way. He cheated me. Said it was Japanese style. Because he stuck his index finger over my thumb, curled it down. He has big hands for a Japanese guy. Believe me. Anyway. People will think I'm bullshitting, but that was true. I don't think he would remember me, but I love to tell that story because he became such a superstar after that. And I was a huge fan. I couldn't believe it. That night I saw Jimmy Eat World and a midget Kiss band, cover band. The early 2000s, like 2003, 2004, I was around 2005 when I met him, right before I went to Blizzard to work on World of Warcraft. That was the best time to work in video games. Well, maybe, yeah, it was the best time. It was before everything was like a live service kind of game. Games were just solid and complete. When they were done, they'd ship. You'd have 18 to 24 months to make a game.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She?
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
Oh.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your code name is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC. Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Commencing Virtuous Mission now.
All right, there's a ton of stuff to unpack there. One, loyalty to the end. Politics change with time. It's a living thing. We all know that. But it was fascinating. I mean, as a young man, I didn't understand what that meant until, the last couple of years. But I don't want to go into that too much. Let's just talk about the game. So, what's neat about this area is that when we really analyze it, these starting areas, when we talk about game design, we force the player. Now, this is an optional area to go over here, but if you walk against this, if you're like, oh, well, what do I do here? You'll probably press against objects, and then you'll find, oh, you can back against it. It doesn't tell you that you can vault over this, though. So that's weird. So I don't know how I knew that. But maybe it's because it's not required for you to know that. So it's interesting if we break apart all of these things into sections. There are 3 distinct lessons here. 4. No, 5. I can think of almost most of the gameplay mechanics are established here. 1, walking through the tall grass distorts the tall grass. So that's nice to know. This is an optional thing that isn't required for you to play the game up to this point. But if you go over here, there will be snakes that you can eat. Also, ammo and such. But getting to the game design requirements, everything that you need to know to progress, you kind of have to learn in order to progress. So there's 2 things. There's one, obviously here, you'll need to know how to crawl to get through there, right? You're going to need to know how to climb up. This wasn't just hey, wouldn't it be neat if you could climb a tree to grab your satchel? No. That's there because we need to know that there are surfaces on trees that you can grip onto and climb. That is a requirement of the game for us to understand. So this whole first area, this first area that's loaded is like a preview of all of the core gameplay mechanics, and you get to play around in an environment where there's not really any dangers. The only danger is that, yes, snakes can bite you and poison you, I think, although they're not likely to. I think you got to stand around them and really aggravate them before they do. You can fall off of this cliff, believe me. I've tried and I have fallen. Then there's this third area up here that all 3 of these, notice they just branch off from this little hub area. And up here, you'll find that, yes, you'll discover that, oh, hey, there are some areas where slopes that you can slide down. So by having this little starting area where there are no real dangers, it's sort of like with the original Super Mario, the first little area, when they want you to get a certain type of jump down, they make it so that it's very low risk for you to learn it. So even if you fail the jump, then you won't die. The consequences are very minimal. But then as you progress, the same jump might cost you more to sort of ensure that you feel the tension and the stress and the pressure. And that's good game design, man. That's something that you can't really do that with like an open world thing. But when you think about something like a GTA, they do teach you those basics in this small kind of confined little area with the first mission or second mission. And then they progressively introduce more gameplay mechanics. So like through here, this area, there's literally nothing here. It's just to give you the sense of you're in a jungle. There's nobody around. There's just living things. You do have like you can play around with your equipment, kind of get used to. Check out the sonar up in the top right. I never really even use this. Does this mean that there might be like animals down here? I actually did not like that it goes to first person view when you're crawling in the tall grass. Oh, furthermore, by the way, the codec call. It sets up also what is your mission objective? What are your stakes? It's not just an international incident. It's personal now because you've got your original mentor, whom you've somewhat impossible lover, by the way, the boss, who you've had a bit of a falling out with. There's also, we all know about Big Boss. So who's this boss character, right? So there's intrigue there. And it's like, if you're a fan of the series and you've been playing any of the previous ones, you're hooked by this point. It's like totally James Bond style, old spy type stuff. Oh, this is what this room is for, by the way. I call it a room, but technically it's not a room. So the mud, if you stand in it too long, you will sink and you will die. But check it out. He's got the mud on his pants. It actually stains his clothes. So the way to get through here is to do a little bit of a dive. And yes, you do have to watch out for those crocodiles. Oh my god, my controller got stuck. What's going on? No. Oh. I'm not wired, so I might actually die here because my controller got stuck. Oh, that was so deep. That was so deep. There is a little bonus area over here if you go for it. And yes, these things will kill you. They will cause lots of damage. Do I have any other... Let's see, AP sensor vibrates when detecting life forms. My controller does not vibrate. You also have your fake death pill, the cigar. Naked Snake was much more about the cigars, not into the cigarettes. The scope. Forgotten how to use it. There we go. Ooh. Cool. Yes, you can get a crocodile head cap, which Kojima apparently had real ones made for his recording sessions, which I think is pretty neat. Let's see, what else is in this area? I think that's just the only thing. You can actually, if you wanted to, I believe you can get a crocodile. You can slash him up. You got to switch to the knife. I'm not close enough. Oh! Oh, he's going to kill me. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. Let's not do it. I do have an item. So you got your food in your backpack. This does give me a chance to eat the reticulated python. Let's eat it. Yeah, different foods are going to have a different reaction from Snake. So he might... that was a living one. Yeah. It spoils if you don't play the game for like a day. It'll actually spoil. So then it could make you sick. I think that isn't how you restore your health, though. Your health just restores from either sitting still, eating a calorie mate, or, oh, there's a life injection item. So you can load up, this is what's kind of neat about this game. You can load up your gear from your backpack. So you can like go, I think I want to put in my, if you have more items in here, you can actually put your gear into your items pack. So now you can access it from your weapons. I'm surprised that wouldn't go into the items category, this one. Instead it goes in as a weapon. But anyway, doesn't matter. So this is all just to kind of get you used to that stuff, like that exists. And no, you can't catch the butterfly. There's no reason to. There is a diverging path around here somewhere. And yes, I have played this many, many times over. However, it has been, let's see, when was the last time I played this game? Almost 6 or 7 years since it came out on the PS3, the HD version. I've only played the HD version one time. And I did have some audio issues, but you change the settings on the PS3, it'll fix the audio issues if you're having that problem. Just go to the audio output and set it to automatic. Nice binocs. Oh, you can actually look. Oh,
Major,
so cool.
I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
I wish I could make a Metal Gear game.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. You can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the Camo Index. The Camo Index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Brilliant. Okay, so the reason for the camouflage, I watch a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff about this stuff, so I get to share it with you. Comes up in, it doesn't come up in casual conversation with people usually, but while I'm doing a Let's Play. So the reason why they had the camouflage, by the way, I'm at 75, 80%. I think I can do better. The reason for the camouflage is that they told Kojima that players don't like the look of camouflage, traditional camouflage on characters, that it was somewhat unpopular. Oh, look, here it shows you, you can actually increase that by switching to the Flecktarn, or I don't know why the Desert Tiger, I guess because of the dirt, but we'll go with the DPM or Flecktarn. Yeah, Flecktarn looks better. Actually, Leaf would, that's what I have. We'll go with the Flecktarn. So now my Camo Index is up to 90. So they told him that players wouldn't like the idea of a character that's wearing camouflage. It's somewhat unappealing, is what they told him. So his solution was, let's let the player change out their gear. I'm going to actually just shoot this guy. It's just a tranquilizer dart. Shit, I missed. So I thought that was really interesting because normally, oh man, like things like that, they're obstacles, right? And it would be so easy to like just go, fuck it. You know what? Fine, we'll make him wearing something else. But this is what's kind of fascinating about Kojima's psychology, their design philosophy at that studio, on that team. And this is the importance of having a strong leader that kind of directs, I guess you'd just say a director, because his philosophy of leaning into the challenge, by the way, a little hidden area over here, to then create a new solution instead of just getting frustrated or changing directions or pivoting the direction of the game or the look of the character. Instead, they opted to add a feature that would solve the problem, and that is the essence of, you know, the necessity creates the creativity. I'm saying that wrong. What is that? Necessity is the mother of invention, right? Is that old saying. Let's get some more snake. Hungry for some snake. Yes. So I thought that was really interesting. To hear that behind the scenes aspect of it, that it was only because there was a sort of a resistance to an idea that they were quite certain of that they wanted to incorporate. And that's why we have the feature that we have. So yeah, you see how you go from, when you're crouched, if you press forward, you'll immediately go into a crawl. If you're playing on the 3DS version, then you can actually crouch walk. And they incorporated the Peace Walker ring around the character as well in the 3DS version. So again, I highly recommend the 3DS version. Unfortunately, I don't have a Katsukity capture card. Otherwise, I would be playing this on the 3DS for you. And Citra is a emulator, but it kind of runs rather poorly. So I did just get that SVD, which is a sniper rifle, but I'm not entirely sure if it's... I'm not entirely sure if it has a silencer or not. Can we find out? Let's go to the viewer. Yeah, here we go. SVD is a Soviet-made automatic sniper rifle known for its high precision. However, it does not have a sniper silencer suppressor. Wow, I've never stopped to look at the 3D models. As a sort of a 3D modeler, I don't do a lot of 3D models, but man, this is really neat. PS2 era is like my favorite because it was very simple, but you got complex ideas in very like kind of simple shapes. If you want to get into game development, or if you want to get into making art for games, dude, just make 3D models. Like, just practice that. You will always find work. You will always find work. Depending on the art style, obviously. Things are a lot more photorealistic these days. I'm not even sneaking up on anybody. I'm not taking any chances. No chances taken. Oh, you can't mark enemies, by the way. This is before all that. Oh, shit. You have to slowly release the button. You can't mark enemies in this game. Oh, he's out of view, too. That's nice. So that other guy isn't even going to see him over here. There is this whole other area on the other side. I'm going to head back and explore that. Yeah, here we go. So what would be really awesome, and I don't want to make this a video about like, oh, what would be cool in a remake, but it has to come up because I am super stoked about this game. But one, open connecting world areas, larger and expanded areas. Like you could do the same gameplay mechanic throughout this area and the previous area, but expand on them, make them larger. Also, weather changes. Like it would be really nice to see, you know, daytime, nighttime cycle. Different animals come out at different times of day. That would be really neat. Like different types of food sources, some more challenging than others. Of course, that would affect enemy visibility as well. Rain throughout here. I think in the trailer, this sequence actually had rain coming through this area, but I think they may have cut it. I do believe there is an area where there is rain, though. Look at how that soldier back there just blends right in, though, because of his camouflage. And I remember when the game first came out... Oh, look, there's a little frog. Can I get him? They're distorting the grass blades. You can see them. Oh, there's a snake. Yeah, so when they were first teasing this game... Oh, there's two soldiers. Oh, I wonder if I can sneak up behind him with some CQC. I don't remember if I know how. But they would release these screenshots. And in the screenshots...
Huh? Who's that?
Oh, no, I hit the wrong button. I was so used to the PS4. Shit. Oh no, I don't know how to do it. Shit. Let's see, what is it? Put on suppressor. That's not what I need to know. I need to know how to use CQC. I totally forgot how to play. Wow. This is why I was just playing it safe. There we go, it's the circle button. Well, that's just a kick, but I wonder, is it the same button? Is it the same button to grab him and choke him out? I've forgotten. Oh, he already called for backup. Maybe I better run. Yeah, let's run. By the way, it wakes up everybody who is asleep. Yeah, see, this guy's back. Yeah, I'm gonna haul ass back to the previous area and then hide in the tall grass. Okay, we lost him. So that is a little bit of kind of like a cheap trick, I guess you'd say, with this game, is that sometimes you can just run to the next zone and they totally forget about you. But it's much more forgiving in this early stage, by the way. But it does mean I've got to redo that part. So the soldiers that were there before are back. But this time, I want to make sure that I figure out, how do I grab them? Because in the moment, I like panicked and I hit the R1 trigger, which is what you do in Metal Gear Solid 4. But you don't do that with this one, so let's look it up real quick. Is it in options? Real-time cutscenes. Whoa, 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 whoa. Camera mode. Normal or third-person view? Oh, that's right. So this was... I forgot about this, but in the original Snake Eater, it was like a more of a top-down, and you couldn't rotate the camera. How did I do that just now? We're going to dig deep into this. Like, real-time cutscenes are full screen. Captions are on. Yeah, I want to try this. I want to see if I can... Yeah, this was the original camera view. So when Snake Eater first released, this is what it looked like. It wasn't behind the character like what we were seeing. This is... Yeah, that's really interesting. You could still go to first-person view, But for the most part, you're kind of like stuck with this camera. I haven't played it this way in so long. But what is the CQC button? Why can't I... Maybe Boss will tell me.
Camouflage is an indispensable tool when you're sneaking through the jungle. To use camouflage, first press the Start button to go to the Survival viewer. Then select Camouflage and press the Enter button. Select a uniform to select Battle Fatigues. And
that's not what we're looking for. We want to know about CQC. Tell me about CQC. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button again.
Visibility is poor in the jungle, so you'll be finding yourself in a lot of unexpected encounters. Naturally, this means that close quarters combat will be more important.
Tell me how to do it.
So I'll have plenty of chances to use CQC then.
That's right. In proximity encounters, firing a gun isn't necessarily the best response to every situation. It's only one option among many. Rather than taking the time to draw, aim, and fire a gun, engaging your opponent in hand-to-hand combat can sometimes be a faster and more reliable way of subduing him. Besides, in a sneaking mission like this one, it's too dangerous to go around firing your gun. You'll end up revealing yourself to the enemy.
Yeah, I know. You created CQC to deal with exactly this type of situation.
With your help, of course. In a battle situation, you'll only have a split second to decide how to attack. Use the weapon button to attack using a weapon, and the CQC button to attack using CQC.
What's the CQC
button?
Press
the CQC button once to throw a punch. Pressing it multiple times in succession will allow you to deliver a combo attack.
Yeah, but how do you grab them?
But striking your opponent is just one aspect of CQC. It doesn't really start to shine until you've got your enemy in a hold.
How do you do
Press
that?
and hold down the CQC button to grab your opponent with your right hand. From there, you can use the left stick to knock your opponent off balance and throw him to the ground. This can be used to knock an opponent out in a single blow.
We're going to try it.
If you don't press the left stick, grapple with your enemy until you're behind them and can get your knife to their throat. Grabbing an enemy from behind and holding your knife against his throat will render him virtually powerless. From this point, there are several things you can do. Press the CQC button hard to slit the enemy's throat with your knife. Move the left stick and press the CQC button to throw the enemy to the ground. Lightly tap the CQC button rapidly to choke the enemy. You can use this to knock him out or even kill him if you do it long enough. By continuing to hold down the CQC button, you can move around while keeping your grip on the enemy. By pressing the weapon button, you can aim your currently equipped weapon at another enemy. With their comrade acting as a human shield, the enemy will be reluctant to attack you. Press the left stick to press your knife against the enemy and demand information. You'll be surprised at how much you can learn this way.
That's
but
crazy.
Don't get too complacent. While your enemy may be powerless in your grip, he'll use any opportunity he can to counterattack.
Crazy, right? So there was never a game that referred to close quarters combat as CQC previous to this. It was the first time it was used. So that's the fire button. So that's the CQC button. But you have to be careful. You have to stalk. Let's see if I can grab this motherfucker. We're going to get some info out of this guy. You have to use the D-pad to stalk. Oh, I got him. Oh, I meant to question him. Fuck. Sorry, bro. It is interesting because with this camera angle, I'm way more zoomed out. You can grab the body and then hide it. Way more zoomed out. But it also feels like I can't look where I want to look. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe I'm going to go back to the old camera. Yeah, I like the newer, when I say old, I meant new. Third-person view. There we go. Because this actually allows you to move it around. The reason for that, by the way, more behind-the-scenes info, Kojima gets motion sickness with third-person view games. He had to take, like, is it Dramamine or something? Whatever that nausea medication is. This game changed everything for him. Previous to this, he had never played first-person shooters, didn't like them, it made him sick. And so, kind of tough when you're the world's leading game designer, as everything is going 3D and 3D cameras, if you're getting sick all the time. So he had to get over that. He had to find a way. Where is this dude? Is that a beehive? Or is it an apple?
Huh?
Oh.
What's that sound?
It's one way to distract him. Maybe I can... You know what? I don't want to... I don't want to risk it because I don't think I can walk up on him fast enough.
There's nothing
Let's
here.
stay in the grass. Wait for him to walk by. Yeah, see? He would have turned around. He would have spotted me. I'm a little nervous he's going to turn to the right and look in my direction. This is still fun. Like, it's really advanced. Not just for its time. But I can't think of anything... I mean, the impact it's had is undeniable. Oh, shit. I forgot about that. I wanted to question. If that other guy sees the body, by the way, he will come running over here. So I'm going to try to play it super stealthy. The impact that this game has, or has had, on not just military games, but games in general, I think, is undeniable. The level of detail on a PS2 game, the level of care put into the story, and all of the different situations that the character finds himself in, the enemy AI, very intelligent. But at the same time, I get why some people are just not into stealth games anymore. And in fact, we don't see very many of them. It's something that they try to incorporate into current games. Like, I would say The Last of Us 2 right now is probably the most advanced stealth game that I've ever played, because the enemies seem to react in just such a human way, like a believable human way. I think that this game kind of set a lot of the groundwork for that. I really wanted to question a guy, but I think I'm just going to move forward. I'm just going to move on. We'll question somebody in the next area. There we go. Dolino Vodno. Dolino Vodno. I can't speak Russian very well. I'm Ukrainian by descent, but I can't really speak with a Ukrainian accent either. I'm like 3 generations removed from that. Apparently my great-grandfather only spoke Ukrainian. Not that you care. I'm talking about that. This is also, by the way, this whole Virtuous Mission is just to teach you how to play. So there's all these little features like this where they want you to, like, shoot the beehive, which is going to cause that guy... That wasn't the beehive.
I'm just seeing things.
That was just an item. Where's the beehive? Wasn't that it? Oh, there it is. He's right under it now. There you go. Yeah, see? So you use the beehive to to get them to scatter. They'll run away from the bees. And that kind of opens things up for you to run in here and grab stuff. This area is super awesome. Oh man, I missed this. It's been a long time, dudes. And yes, you can slice up, by the way, you can slice up the bridge, the rope bridge. And it makes it very unstable. If you do that across all of these, then enemies will slide off of it. But you can also grab onto the edge and like dangle. I just don't want to risk it right now. It's an unnecessary risk, I guess you'd say. I think that cleared the guy out. I don't know that there's any more enemies through here, is there? I don't remember. Oh, what the hell am I doing? Use your motion detector. No, we're in the clear. There is a little hidden area down here, by the way. Kind of neat. Not everybody knows about this. Although if you're paying attention, if you're walking along the bridge and you're paying attention, you'll notice that you have to hug the wall there, or you're toast. There is a way, by the way, that you can hang from the side of the bridge. Oh, that's for the XM16E1. Holding first person. What is that, a rifle? I'm guessing it's a rifle. So, yeah, if you're hanging from the bridge up there, you can drop down. And then if, for instance, this area is crawling with enemy soldiers, that's another way that you can kind of access. And then you would come around from behind them, because you would have landed on that branch, and then you could sneak by them. Yeah, see? There's 2 more soldiers. Oh, shit. I'm not used to games where I can't mark enemies anymore. The boss was saying you shouldn't even try to fight these guys. Just sneak past them. And yeah, it does feel really super awesome when you, when you can go through a whole area and not even trigger an alarm. If you can rescue Sokolov, because right now we're just going to this factory coming up here. It's like an old abandoned factory. If you can rescue Sokolov without even triggering an alarm, oh man, it's so rad.
Major,
It's such a great
I've
feeling.
reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. And do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
This area is super rad. I love this part because you're finally dealing with structures. You're finally dealing with like buildings where you can like go inside, and then there's elevations and whatnot. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to check out. What is that new rifle that I got? I think it was a weapon. Yeah, it's the XN. It is a rifle. It is not silenced though, but Oh, put on or off a suppressor. Wait a second. Toggle firing mode with the Y button. Put on or off suppressor with the X button in window. I'm in the window now. Oh, you can toggle the firing mode for a single shot, multi-shot. I guess I don't have a suppressor for it. So that's why I can't. I think you have to acquire it. So we're going to have to go with the... Oh, yeah. Because if I had a suppressor for the rifle, I could put it on. But I don't. So I'm not gonna. So marking targets makes the game too easy anyway. So I'm kind of glad that it doesn't have that. It's one thing about Phantom Pain that I remember Kojima was saying he would have gotten rid of the ability to mark targets, but players were sort of getting frustrated with not knowing where enemies were. And people tend to want an easy mode, even though it ruins the game to some extent. One down. By the way, yeah, I'm totally just going to take the easy route wherever possible. Because this game is hard enough. This area is so rad because there's like side routes that you can take. It's a little disorienting when it switches to first-person view like that, though. I don't like that. Again, I don't think that the 3DS version has that auto view change. By the way, I'm just going to peek in here to make sure. I think that there's a soldier. Yeah, see? Right there.
Huh?
Oh, fuck. That's not good. Get out of there. Nope. I'm trying to get to the grass. Oh, did you see how barely got away? Oh, it's too good. I'm too good. How did I do that? How did I frickin' do that? I dove into the grass just before he came around the corner. Shit.
Huh. Guess I'm seeing things.
Oh, man. I thought I was donezo. I didn't know where the guy is. Where is he? Who's talking right now? Shit. He's hunting for me. I just don't know where he is. I'm going to peek my head out.
I think I saw something.
No, you didn't.
Huh.
Where?
Guess I'm seeing things.
Where? My motion detector is not helping me right now. I know there was another guy that was cruising around here. He kind of does this path. I feel like I gotta just sit here. Oh, there he is. Oh, baby. I am not doing too shabby this time. There might be one more soldier. So I am going to move this guy into the tall grass. Just to make sure. Because if they spot you... Oh, I think that's Snake's stomach. I better eat something. Oh wait, I think I had... Didn't I have my calorie mate? Yeah. Oh, you can throw it. Well, just use it. Oh, that's why you can equip it as a weapon. Because you can throw it. Let's use it. Yeah, I don't want the area to get flooded with... He loves the Calorie Mate. They were sponsoring the game. So I don't want the area to get flooded with soldiers. That's why I'm like taking them all out. I know that there's like one more guy. Also why I kind of have to walk real slow. 12 gauge shotgun. That might come in handy. The M37. Trying to play it safe here. Is that one of those... What do they call them? I forgot what they're called. The little frog guys. Kariko or something? You can use them to distract enemies, but it's also one of those kind of like hidden packages that all these old games from the early 2000s had. Where there's like hidden gear. Aha! See, there's that guy. I would mark him if we could mark enemies, but I'm not. So you can also push this barrel down if you trigger the enemies to come after you. You can kind of lure them into a trap. Oh, I got my suppressor for my XM. Hey! All right. Yeah. Also, this would be a good area to switch out your camouflage if we were so inclined. I don't really feel the need to, because I'm just going to take the guy out. If I can. Uh-oh. Oop. How far does he walk up here? I'm going to wait for him to turn around before I pop down. There we go. See if I can pop a headshot. Oh, no reticle. I do not like that gun. Yeah, I don't know about that XM1. Like, you can't really look down. It's not for precision shooting. It's for, like, over the shoulder. So there's a lot of neat stuff in this area, by the way. Like, you can crawl under the building. I think that was the last of the soldiers. There's a little hidden area down here, by the way. Nice little hidden spot. And yes, you can kind of sneak up on enemies by using this underground area. I don't think there's anything that I need down here other than maybe some like snakes and some other equipment. You can use that to sneak up on enemies, but I think I've gotten them all at this point. Life med. That's the item that does like a immediate... Oh my god. Oh my god, there's one more dude. Holy shit. And I'm blabbing. I'm gonna sneak up on him. Oh my god.
Who's that?
Shit. No. Oh my god. Get him. Don't let him call for help. No, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where the fuck did he go? Well, it looks like I found the other dudes. No, we're just gonna go for it. We could hide behind here. Or let's just go to Sokolov. Oh, it won't let me while I'm alerted. Damn. I really screwed the pooch on that one. Because I was trying to sneak up on him. I should have just taken the shot. But he spun around at that last second. At the same time, that's what makes the game good. Oh shit, he's right there. Do you see this? He's sticking his rifle out. He's still there.
HQ.
We lost him.
This is HQ. Patrol here. We've lost sight of the enemy.
Low consequences.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
If you play on the harder difficulty, you would not survive a couple of gunshots. Toast. You'd be totally toast. And also, that alert stage lasts a lot longer. So now we're in the caution stage, by the way. This is where they are... What's really nice about this is, like, they are scavenging around. They are looking everywhere. So it's not a good idea to go out during this time. Oh, look, you can kind of see between the boxes. I wonder if you could build this engine in Unity. Oh, I would have so much fun just building little zones. There's some things I would do differently, like the camera work, a little awkward. I much more prefer a kind of an aiming style that we have now in modern games, like they did in Metal Gear Solid 4. So like modern controls on the aiming would be good, where, you know, like L1 would aim the weapon and then R1 would fire, for example. Definitely would want that crouching. So like, I think that's why, if they do just like a re-release, do the 3DS version would be the best way to do it. You can kind of hear their footsteps, by the way. I'm going to peek my head out, because I think I might be able to get to Sokolov now. Yeah. There's a few other minor things that I would change from a game design standpoint, to just build on it, like, that just make things more efficient. It bugs me that you switch to first-person view when you're crawling in the tall grass. That really bugs me. It should be an option. The player should be able to choose.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men?
Oh shit.
You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of GRU. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the Army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America is truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts.
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Old tech radio.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I had to kill them. There was no other way. But no one will know we were involved.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
I would love to try a perfect stealth run. It suggests that you can, their conversation suggests that you can get there without triggering even a single alarm. Which is possible if you use distractions, like if you throw a magazine and then you sneak by. Very replayable. All of these games, all of the Metal Gear games are very replayable. And kind of goofy. What is he doing? Oh, this game's about to get super freaking weird. Okay. When Ocelot shows up. I don't mean to throw in spoilers, but... Oh, somebody's watching them.
Freeze!
Oh, damn. Walked right into that one, didn't you, Snake?
So this is the legendary boss.
Huh?
Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
Gangster. Shot his own dude. Why would you do that? Why? Totally unnecessary. Oh, he does that trick in Metal Gear Solid 1 too. where he banks it off of the wall. Oof, cold-blooded, man.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
Wow. Let's get nutty. There we go.
GRU operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
How did he know it would jam? We could have totally killed him right there.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
Tranquilizer darts. With these Metal Gear games, you could go through the whole game and never kill anyone. It was possible. And it does affect your ranking at the end of the game. Though that ranking is just... doesn't matter. Maybe for trophies, though. I wonder. Nice. I'll bet they swapped out to higher resolution models.
Possible.
More
You
polygons
rejected the first bullet by
on the
hand,
guns
didn't you?
for the close-ups.
I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil.
Gangsta style.
That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
Damn, that's some CQZ, baby. He's just toying with him.
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
You're pretty good.
Good.
This wasn't like the first game to do the really long cutscenes, but there are
Major,
some long
do you
cutscenes.
read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
All right, so now I got to get Sokolov out of there. And I believe... Shit. Do I have to go and find him again? What's the dealio here? These guys are going to wake up on me. And I've forgotten what to do. I told him to hide, but I have no idea where he went. And what happens if I just leave? I think I've got to catch up to him. Maybe he did run off. Pretty sure. Yeah, there's nothing left to, like, find there. And I'm not sure that you get to carry your weapons into the next part anyway. There's another meaty cutscene here. Yeah.
You okay? Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look.
Metal Gear.
That's what they were making you build.
Yes. The Shagohod.
The Shagohod.
Behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
Pretty high tech for the 60s.
Is that thing finished?
No. This is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2?
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
It's a good setup, man. So he's just a scientist that's being used, but he's the only guy that can build the Shagohod, which is essentially the first prototype of the Metal Gear. Before they figured out that they could put it on like a bipedal tank. It's not my favorite Metal Gear design, though. The Shagohod is probably the weakest, in my opinion. Hell, even the PSP one was, I think, better. Portable Ops had a better Metal Gear design. In my opinion, you know. The best was absolutely Rex. No question. Sahelanthropus was pretty dope, too.
Boss.
But it's weird that it was more advanced than the Rex. What's the boss doing here?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Thought she was on a
Sokolov
sub.
comes with me.
The hell?
Hornets.
Hornets. That's the fear, by the way. I don't know how he did that. Hanging upside down, being levitated. He must have been hanging from a rope, and that's the pain, by the way. That's the Cobra unit, which we're about to tell you a little bit more about.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back.
The end.
Boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself.
So awesome. Wow.
It's raining blood.
Oh, it's the sorrow.
Is he crying?
This is where everything began, by the way. This is the oldest Metal Gear in the timeline. Everything comes from these characters and from the decisions that they make. That's what made this story so great. Oh, part of it.
Kuwabara, Kuwabara. Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is
Say
a little
what?
gift for my new hosts.
His expression's priceless there.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
Oh, damn. Disassembled his gun in one motion. She's just that good. Oh. It's a hell of a
He's
breakup.
seen my face. We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him.
Boss.
Jack, you can't come with us.
Oh, the betrayal. Oh. She's strong, dude. Snake's gotta weigh like 180, 190. She just flipped him like a sack of potatoes.
blood has been rejected. Are we done here?
Now, on to Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
The dialogue changed a little bit from the original trailer as well. It's subtle, but they always did that. Like, refined it all the way up until release. So he did survive, and I believe to some extent that was quite intentional. I believe the boss wanted to make sure that he lived, because Volgin would have killed him instantly. But he's actually at least
Snake,
got a chance.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major, the boss, she's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item, and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay
It does
with
tell
me.
you.
Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
This was something that had never been done in a game before, but using specific treatments to repair the damage. Each one of these. Deep cut, bleeding, bandage, and disinfectant. So... let's see, it's deep cut, bleeding, suture, bandage, disinfectant. What else? Bleeding. Not the cigar. That's for gunshots. It tells you what they are for treating. So which one is it that's for knives, for bleeding? Is it the styptic? Cuts, yeah. So you have to go through each one. Bandage. Again, same thing. Bone fracture, just needs a bandage. And I believe what is it? Styptic? No, splint. Yeah, broken bones. And another one with the broken bones. And then this one's another deep cut. Bandage, suture, disinfectant, and styptic. There we go. And yeah, it tells you what it is every time, but you don't often get those kind of injuries unless you're really fucking up. Maybe if you're playing in a really difficult setting. You know, I do want a remake of this, damn it. Something expanded. The replayability of it, wow. It really had everything that the previous games had and more. With the survival system. To some extent, is it the first survival game? Because you had to eat food or it would affect your aim. You had to fix wounds. You had to collect equipment to fix those wounds. Sometimes you don't have the equipment to be able to fix it. And all of that affected your ability to perform.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Maybe in the comments, can you think of a survival game before this? Even though I don't really consider it survival. It's not like you'll die if you don't eat. It just affects the quality of your gameplay. You're aiming, and it'll also give you away. If your stomach is growling, it'll like give away your location in stealth situations. It's so intricate. So many layers.
Shagohod.
Yeah, a combination of Phantom Pain mixed in with this would be just stellar. A little bit more open world. Survival. Expanding on all the locations. Even that Sokolov mission, just rescuing Sokolov. Wow. What if you could approach that from any different angle? And if the factory is like a much more expanded factory? Even just thinking about it, it's so exciting. But if it's Blue Point doing the remake, it would likely just get like an exact replica treatment, but with updated graphics, which would be okay. Just not preferred. I like being introduced to new things. Not just the same old.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
Creepy sniffer.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!